It's weird being able to see your faces.
I like it.
I don't know if I do. All right. I got so distracted by all that bullshit we were doing, I didn't have my notes ready. Okay. Is everybody good to go?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm disturbed by the fact that you have notes. How seriously do you take this?
It's just the Amazon page of the book.
Oh, so it's not notes.
No, it just sounds more professional to call it notes.
Note taken.
Oh.
When we talk about certain authors, I do actually take notes if I feel like there's going to be an interesting conversation to have. But in this case, it's just the Amazon page. All right. Hello, friends. Welcome to Brainworms, the podcast that has its nose firmly in the anus of the literary world.
That's not accurate.
Oh, no.
Our nose is firmly in the brainus
The brainus, yeah.
of the literary world.
Are we trying to make brainus a thing?
Let's make Brainus a
Wait,
thing.
wait.
Do
Isn't
you
the
not
brainus
wanna
a
make it
mouth?
thing?
So we're like sticking our noses in the literary mouths? I don't like that at all.
Nom, 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 nom.
Yeah, I would much rather have my nose crammed up literary's butthole than in their mouth. I'm just, no.
Have you never seen a dog react to your mouth? They like the smell of it. They want to get their nose in there.
They do.
No, that's not a place that I hang out, Chris.
You've never had a dog try to French kiss you? 'Cause
I mean, I have.
They'll do
but
it.
I don't like it, and I want it to stop.
I don't care for it.
No.
I don't care for it either.
I didn't say anything about liking it. I'm just saying that they do it.
So, Joe, who are we? Why are we here?
Yeah, let's talk about
God.
stuff.
That's a mood.
Who are we? Why am I sad and why does my body hurt? Give me a second. I need to make some quick adjustments.
I'll adjust
There
you
we go.
quickly.
Like a chiropractor.
What the fuck is happening?
I was
Yeah,
gonna fuck him.
adjust you like
That's
a
Oh, sure.
chiropractor.
Valid.
no. I was talking about fucking him.
Right.
Adjustments. Like a
What?
chiropractor.
All right, we're all real squirrely today.
This is going to be a
that's
weird
apparent.
one.
Which is funny when you say that. Like, this is going to be a weird one.
'Cause it's
Brainworms
this.
podcast.
Right.
When it's going to be a weird one for brainworms, we
Yeah.
know that the rabbit hole is actually a brainus. Like,
I am afeared.
I am going to say that I am Joe before we get too far off course.
Well, Joe, I'm David.
and David and Joe, I'm not David.
And I'm Chris.
And do you remember a few years back now, the young adult romance trend, the Hunger Games and the Divergent and that kind of thing? Remember when that was cool?
Wait, was the Hunger Games a romance novel?
Yeah, the dystopian romance thing. It was
Yeah,
totally a
I
genre.
had like an image in my head of like a book cover with Katniss Everdeen and Fabio. So when you said romance novel,
Right.
I went to a place and I was like, I don't think that's accurate. But what you're saying is that it was a young adult book that had romances in it.
Yeah.
And since you're not a real person, you attributed that to being just a romance novel.
No, I'm saying that was a genre that existed. I'm not attaching any value judgment to
Didn't
it.
that all happen post Twilight? Like after Twilight raked in all like loads of cash.
Young adult fiction has always been a thing, but the
Right.
I guess renaissance of young adult fiction that was kicked off was probably started by Twilight
Mhm.
and arguably the Hunger Games as well. It suddenly became like the thing.
Right. The reason why I qualified it with the Hunger Games is because specifically the dystopian.
Right.
Right, but I just don't feel like the romance of the book is like the central point.
Right.
I'm just coming at this as a guy who's only seen the movies. All right. So
I was going to say, have you read the books or have you seen the movies? Because a lot of words.
The love triangle element is a strong plot point of those stories.
okay. There was a series of books about a necromancer, a lady necromancer.
I don't read books.
That sounds
Shut
hot.
your fucking whore mouth, Joe. And
Does
it
she
started.
have wicked 6-inch heels?
Please stop. Stop. I want to describe this.
Chris, just be quiet and submissive, okay?
Yes. Yes, like Daddy says.
Yeah, and fertile. Just be submissive and breedable and let Kaine talk.
Yeah. All right. So
God damn it.
submissive and breedable. Fucking, that's Chris in a nutshell. Pun intended. Pun intended. All right, what was I talking about? Yeah, I was talking about goddamn Necromancer. All right, so the first book I read was the first book that they made about this character.
Which makes sense. It's a good place to start.
I read it a long time ago, right? This was like probably 20 years ago.
Mhm.
And the series continues, right? Like I picked it up like maybe 10 years later. I was like, oh, they kept writing books about this necromancer. And she was a badass.
Right.
She's like this super powerful necromancer, and she's laying the smackdown on other evil necromancers. And it was a really fun book.
Mhm.
So I picked the series up later, and it's all sex books at that point. Like graphically described sex. There's a triumvirate at one point between this necromancer lady, a vampire, and a were-tiger.
Oh, that's the Anita Blake stuff.
Anita Blake! Oh my God, yes!
Yeah, when you said necromancer, I was thinking like Lord of the Rings.
But no, she totally fits the necromancer category. That is actually what she
I just made a different connection.
Did you ever read any of those? Like, did you read the first one? Because in the first one,
I feel like I read the first one.
It's not a wild sex party. There's sex in it. Like, it exists in the book, right?
Mhm.
But it's not the point, right? The point was the story of, like, the super powerful guy that wanted to resurrect this other super powerful necromancer to abuse that necromancer's power. It was a whole thing. It was really awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
And then every book after that,
I just have a quick question about
had more and more sex.
About the sex in the Anita Blake thing. Is it like a commentary on sex, or is it just
It's just
fucking.
Yeah.
It's just fucking.
Wonderful.
There's a lot of fucking in it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember the first one was like horror Jessica Jones almost.
Sort of, yeah.
Yes, it was. It was like horror Jessica Jones. And then it became Jessica Jones porn.
Right.
And what's crazy is that author, Laurel K. Hamilton, has a whole other series, which is about fairies.
Mm-hmm.
Is it all about fucking?
Kind of seems to be her attempt to appease the crowd that thought that her Anita Blake books didn't have enough fucking in them.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. People read those books and were like, well, that was tame. And Laura K. Hamilton was like, really? Like, really? Okay. All right. There it is. There it is.
This is what happens when you don't wash your hands after reading fan fiction. It infects your stories.
It's like glitter.
The only other thing that I know about Laurel K. Hamilton is that apparently way, way, way back in the day, Jim Butcher was shopping around his early like Dresden Files idea, and she read it and told him, yeah, that's good. You should keep working on it. Huh. And she had already published a couple of novels by then. So he was like, hey, you know what? If she thinks it's good, I guess it does have some merit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Anita Blake was a badass, and she continued to be a badass, but it was all about fucking after that. It was pretty much just fucking.
All right.
Yeah, werewolves and were-tigers and vampires and all sorts of...
There's a lot of anatomical questions that come into play.
Of course there is with you.
You can find answers to those questions pretty easily, Chris.
Yeah.
Go bounce around DeviantArt for 5 or 10 minutes, and you'll get those questions answered.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I feel like, Chris, you should probably start the Anita Blake series, Chris. I feel like it would resonate with you.
You might actually really enjoy them, yeah.
Joe, I think it's really cute that you think DeviantArt is like the depths of...
I mean, it's not. I know that
like,
there's way harder core nerd fetish pornography on the internet. I'm fully aware. I know what the internet is, Chris.
All right, so we have fully upended this podcast.
This is going to be another one of those episodes.
We have fully dilated this brainus.
So
Joe,
you were talking about romance novels.
The
Katniss
dystopian
Everdeen on the cover with Fabio. Where are we going from there?
Fabio, right?
Now, would they make the Fabio look younger? I'm sorry, it just popped into my head. I had to say it.
Go ahead.
Because Katniss is a young lady, or is it just going to be Fabio as old as he would have been.
No, it's Fabio now.
Oh, God.
The era of Fabio as like the romantic hunk kind of ended, I think.
Seen the guy?
Probably 20 years ago.
You're telling me that I Can't Believe It's Not Butter commercials came out 20 years ago?
Yeah, that feels right. I think that was like the mid-90s.
God, you're fucking old, David.
Am I weird for thinking he's still hunky?
He is hunky. He's hunky as hell.
Oh, yeah, he's still hunky.
He kept himself in shape, you know?
Yeah.
That
But
jawline.
that
For
kind of
days.
aesthetic for your romantic lead, I think is kind of a thing of the past.
Especially if it's like, hey, here's this guy, and here's this fresh off the puberty chain.
What?
Pube Chan.
All right. Let's put
Never say
Chris in the
Pete
quiet room.
Chandler again. I don't like that at all.
All right. I'm just gonna go to WikiFeet. You guys record the podcast without me.
Oh, you can check out my new set.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. We worked hard to get David on WikiFeet.
Do you think Fabio is like really dumb?
I don't know that I can make that assumption just because he's.
I don't know. I mean, given that, unless he's very well managed, I feel like you have to be. God damn it, we're on a tangent again. But I feel like you have to be at least a little bit smart to kind of brand and sell yourself as a product in the way that he does.
Successfully, you mean?
Yeah. Anyway, god damn it, we're never gonna get through this intro. But anyway, I'm gonna tell the listeners about the book.
Yeah.
As with any successful literary genre, it inspired imitators of varying degrees of success.
Tell me that you found a Dan Brown book where he tried to dabble in that.
No, I mean,
Oh,
to
man.
Dan's credit, he's not a trend chaser. He writes what he wants to write.
Right.
Which are stories where a thinly veiled equivalent of Dan Brown goes on exciting
his self-insert
adventures.
fan fiction where he meets Jesus and is an action hero.
Jesus don't want me for a sunbeam.
It's true. God damn it. Stop it. Stop distracting me. Stop it.
Yeah, so imitators of
Yeah.
the young adult romance novel.
Right. And some of them were less successful than others, and I have found one from the very bottom of that barrel. A story called Hungry by Heather Swain.
Speaking of young adult books, did any of you ever read the Garth Nix Abhorsen series?
No.
If you have the opportunity to acquire the Garth Nix Abhorsen series, do it, because the character building and world building is fabulous.
Noted.
I will look into that.
And now that we've told the listeners about several other better book series,
Yeah, other better books.
Not limited to, and also
God damn it,
including
Kaine.
the Anita Blake series.
I was actually about to say maybe at some point we should read an Anita Blake book.
We might as
Only
well.
if it's one of the sex ones.
They're all sex ones.
Yeah, they're except for the first one. The first one's not. I mean, there's sex in it, but not like the rest of them.
Right. But yeah, Hungry, Heather Swain, a dystopian novel about a society in which there is no more food or need for food, as everyone takes medication to ward off hunger.
And does the medication also give them nutrients?
I assume. I think that's the implication.
I would think it would have to. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I just imagine they take nutrient supplements as suppositories.
Well, obviously,
That's weird that you would-
they
that
live off
you would
their
just assume
prana. Obviously,
Right.
They're living on their prana. That's it. I give up.
Sure. They take nutrient pills. They have no need for food. But the impetus of the story is that the main character and a boy she meets start to feel hunger, and they set out on a journey to find food.
Is this like what was that Christian Bale movie in the dystopian future where people aren't allowed to feel feelings? And so they burn...
Equilibrium.
Equilibrium. Yeah.
Oh,
Is this like Equilibrium, but instead of feelings,
It's eating food. Maybe.
Equilibrium, also known as Discount Matrix.
Sure.
Not bad. Not bad.
I don't think it was Discount Matrix.
Did you see all the times he was wearing a leather trench coat and the Matrix gunfights?
He was not. He was wearing a cassock because he was a priest.
practicing gun kata.
Yeah. What are we doing? What is this?
You know what? Fuck it. Let's just watch Equilibrium.
All right, podcast over. You just get an intro today. We're just
20
gonna
minute
we're just gonna
intro.
turn off the recorder and do something else.
I guess we should probably just do this then.
Sure. I am going to remind you to go to WeGiveYouBrainworms.com
If you have to.
if you like, if it pleases you, where you can support the show via Patreon. If you like the show, then consider supporting it.
The mental image that I have for what's happening right here is Joe, Kaine, and I have our heads on the block, and David is the headsman, and we're all just like jabbering and like, oh my god, he's actually not starting the book. He's not chopping our heads off. If we just keep talking, it won't happen.
Oh, we're
You're just
Scarazotting.
prolonging the inevitable right now,
Yeah.
Chris. All I need is for Joe to get through the CTA, man. Then it's
Just
happening.
Yeah, do that. Website, Patreon, do those things.
We could get you into our Funky Fresh Discord
Right. Yeah. Jump into our Discord.
where you can be kind and let us know when we accidentally upload the same episode.
Well, no, it wasn't the same episode. It was just the wrong title.
Good looking out, Boots.
Yeah.
Well, that was Mermaid.
Oh, that's right. My bad.
Yeah.
See, we are not infallible creatures.
We're very stupid, actually.
It's true.
What are you fucking talking about? I'm a goddamn genius.
We just happen to be lucky enough and to be able to afford microphones.
Therein lies the tragedy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, like my microphone could have been several Happy Meals for someone.
that's true.
Just think about that for a minute.
Perhaps in a world like the world of Hungary, shitbags like us aren't allowed to buy microphones.
I don't know, David. Why don't you tell us about it?
Prologue. Surely,
I take it back. I take it back.
the apple is the noblest of fruits. Henry David Thoreau.
Oh, wow. Quoting Thoreau? Wow.
In the ghostly branches of a hologram tree, light winks off the shiny side of something red and round. I hesitate to reach for it. It's just a projection of the past into the present
It's
after
very,
all.
very Bruce
But it
Sterling.
looks so real that I can't help myself. I raise my arm. My body feels hollow and slow. Hey, who are you? That's not for you, someone calls. I try to tell this stranger my name, Thalia Apple. But the words bubble up from my throat and pop like bubbles. The words burble up from my throat and pop like bubbles in my mouth.
Don't
with a
like
taste
that.
That's faint
Yeah.
and far away. My jaws work, unable to grasp the last word sitting smugly on the tip of my tongue.
What?
You think this is a descendant of Fiona Apple?
I hope so.
So I pluck that red and shiny thing from the tree and shove it in my mouth. Feel
Whoa.
it slide down my throat, then watch as it falls
Huh.
out of a perfectly empty circle carved from my hips to my ribs.
Joe, did you pick a
I-
sex book?
I
Try to
didn't
snatch
mean
it
to.
before it hits the ground, but it changes shape and flitters away on delicate wings, too fleeting to catch.
Okay.
I must find something to block this opening where my belly button used to be, or everything I want to say will fall out. I pick up a pillow, my favorite soft blanket
It's
on
a
the ground
dream,
beside
Kane.
me. Then
Is
the
it a
dark
MyPillow?
and loamy dirt,
I hope so.
like what my grandparents dug their hands into when they were young. But it all falls through, making a mound at my heels.
What if we got a
We are
sponsorship from
young.
I
MyPillow?
inhale deeply, catching the
Heartache
slightest
to
whiff of
heartache.
something sweet,
We stand.
something desirable, as red and round as my name, and I moan.
Wait, red and what? What? Why is what? What?
It's an apple!
I mean, yeah, but red and round as my name.
Yeah,
her
her
name's
name is
Apple.
Thalia Apple.
Right, red and round is her name. Her name isn't round or red.
It's an apple. Her name is Apple.
You never answer me. Do you think she's a descendant of Fiona Apple?
No, I think she's a descendant of
Johnny
Tim
Appleseed?
Apple.
Didn't the guy from Coldplay name his kid Apple, or am I misremembering?
Somebody did.
Who cares?
There's lots of people named Apple in Hollywood.
Okay.
I'm a fan of an Applegate.
Of all the names, of all the weird names to pick, like Apple.
I think it should have been Thalia Fruit Punch.
Thalia Sirloin Steak. Part 1.
Thalia Pork Chop.
We're very stupid.
That's my porn name. Part 1. Inner Loop. Comfort me with apples, for I am sick of love. Song of Solomon.
Sure.
I know some stuff from Song of Solomon. Talking about your sister's chest, and it's real awkward.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty pornographic.
Issue like donkeys.
Yeah, I read that at a mock wedding once.
It's true. I was there. I was being mock married, in fact. What's the matter, Thalia? I wake up with a jerk. Squinting into the light, I see Mom zip past where I'm sprawled across the couch, clutching a pillow to my belly, moaning.
Mom is Sonic the Hedgehog.
I try to clear my head and get my bearings. I'm not under a tree. There is no dirt. I poke myself in the stomach to make sure there's no hole. When I sit up, my head feels too heavy, so I flop back on the living room couch. My arms feel like spindly strings attached to my shoulders. My legs are wobbly. My belly is concave. Why were you in the dark? Mom asks over the yapping of her personal cyber assistant, Gretchen.
Because I was
who runs
fucking
through today's
sleeping,
junk
Mom.
mail on the main screen.
Oh, this is going to be another werewolf women of the wasteland type of book, isn't it?
I hope not.
Do you think Gretchen is also a sex robot?
No, it's probably just an automated dog.
That's not a no.
Touché.
Today
that.
only, Gretchen announces. No, says Mom.
David
Bonk.
will have none of our
Gretchen
bullshit
deletes
today.
the message.
No, understandably so.
Save big, Gretchen says. No, says Mom. Bonk, goes Gretchen. Cyber sale, Gretchen announces. Send to Thalia, Mom commands.
Definitely a sex robot.
Oh, this is another David Says kind of book, isn't it?
Do you need to send me the link, David, so that I can respond for you, or are we good?
No, it's okay. That's okay. Just that little bit there where Gretchen said bong a lot for some reason. Bonk,
Because that's what robots say in this world, I guess.
bonk, and ping.
Sex robots.
I roll away from the noise, but can't get comfortable on the stiff couch because the backs of my legs stick to the wipeable surface. It's a sex
But at least
robot.
it's wipeable. I told you.
I pull the heavy pillow that smells strongly of synthetic citrus cleanser over my head to block out the fracas. I wish I could
What about
dive
the
back
ruckus?
into my dream and
Can
find
you
that
describe
thing
the
I was
ruckus?
searching for. I inhale deeply, but the biting lemony lime scent is not the smell I want. The smell I'm after is less pungent, more
What?
subtle. Not yellow or green,
Maybe
but warm,
briny a little
earthy
bit?
brown.
God damn it, Kane, settle down. Why are you so horny today, Kane?
I'm not horny. All right, we're just talking about romance books, all right? So I feel like everything's going to have to be about sex, all right? So give me a break.
Did you guys know that Trevor Moore died?
Yeah,
Like forever ago, Chris, fucking come back.
that was
to
like
20
7 celebrity deaths ago, man. Come on,
Right,
keep
dude.
up.
Rest in peace, Trevor.
Yeah, like I'm still reeling for Betty White, and then you
Yeah.
want to fucking bring up Trevor? Fuck you, man.
By the time the listeners hear this, fuck knows.
Right?
I mean, we lost Meatloaf
Yeah, today.
and Louis Anderson
Yeah.
on the same day.
I think they were like, fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah.
I get it.
Or were they fucking each other? And that's how they died.
I don't think that's
You
true.
shut your goddamn mouth, Chris. Meatloaf was a international treasure.
And Louis Anderson was constantly being overshadowed by other entertainers.
Yeah.
So
Well, hey, he at least had that cartoon in the 90s,
That was
right?
a
Yeah.
great show. I loved that cartoon.
It's a good show.
I'm going to have to
What
push
show?
this episode to the front of the line so it's more timely.
Things we do to Joe. There needs to be a folder. It's just things that we do to Joe that force him to alter his schedule. Like that's
True.
the name of the folder.
Mom's heels clack against the tile. Then she slips a cool, dry hand under the pillow and presses against my forehead. What are you doing?
Is mom a sex
Stepbrother-
robot too?
Stop touching my head.
I swat her away with the pillow,
Cough me, Mom.
checking for a fever. You're a doctor, for God's sake, I grouse at her. Why are you touching me? Mom crosses her arms and sticks a hip out to the side. She's all points and angles. If you had your gizmo with you, I could read your vitals from over there. She points across the room. But since you don't, I have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Finger up the bum.
She holds up her hand and waves her fingers at me.
Yep. See, that's going in there.
What now?
Finger up the bum.
Oh,
Check her
okay.
temperature.
That's not.
Gross, I mutter. Mom snorts. That's how doctors
man.
used to do it. They even used their hands for surgery. She makes a sick face at the thought of digging inside someone's body.
Get it? It's the future.
Why are you on the couch in the middle of the day anyway? I just feel, I try to describe it, weird, I say, because there is no one word I can think of. Weird is a relative term, says Mom. Be specific.
Can we just get to the robot fucking, please?
I don't think there's gonna be fucking Kaine.
Look, if you want to see robots fucking, go watch
No,
Heart
Chris,
Beeps.
I don't need you to do that, all right?
Go watch Heart Beeps.
No.
Hollow, I say. I
Oh,
could
man.
tell her more. Like she specifically just fucking asked you to.
Yeah.
Details like how it starts in my belly, between my ribs and hips, above my navel, but beneath that springy muscle, the diaphragm that makes your lungs expand and contract. How it's a strange yawning feeling, like my insides grew a mouth and that mouth is opening. I push a finger into the spot,
How
but all I can
Cronenberg.
say is empty.
Push my fingers into my eyes.
Are you achy? She cocks her head, and her hair shifts like a black cultured silkies curtain across her narrow shoulders. I shake my head no, which makes me dizzy for a moment, as if my noggin is a balloon tethered above my shoulders.
What 16-year-old says noggin?
Mom switches into full-on MD mode, picking up my arm with 2 fingers at my wrist, checking my pulse. Next, you'll cut off my leg with a rusty saw and no anesthesia, I mutter, uncomfortable in her grip.
And then attach a robot leg.
Your historical medical references are hilarious, she deadpans.
I'm bored.
You should work as a reenactor at the Relics. Did you have your synthomil today?
Wait,
Of
is
course,
the Relics
I
like a
grumble.
sex robot museum?
Stop saying sex robot.
No, see.
Why is
in this-
it
in-
here?
In this universe,
Do
you sex wanna get robots-
down?
sex robots evolved out of dildos, so that museum would be like a timeline. You shows like the cucumber, the dildo, and like advancing like the rise of man.
I do really want to go to the sex museum in New
Me
York
too.
City sometime.
Yeah.
What does he want?
And water.
sex.
I'm out. I got shit to do. I'm gonna go.
16 ounces of each this morning? God, Mom, yes. Have you urinated? Would you like a specimen? Don't get smart. She drops my arm, which flops to the couch. I feel like I'm made of just like skin. Your synthomil has been precisely calibrated.
Just like heaven?
And if you don't, geez, Mom. I sit up and hold my head in my hands. I know. I drank it all, and I had water on schedule, and I peed, okay? Well, you're certainly grouchy, she mutters.
It's because
She's
you're always
angry.
asking about my pee, Mom. It's weird.
I glare at her through my fingers as she clacks away and returns, gently shaking a bottle of blue synthomil with my name embossed in gold across the label. Maybe we need to recalibrate. Your metabolism might have shifted. She twists off the cap and hands me the liquid. Maybe you're having one last growth spurt. I roll my eyes at her before I take a swig. I'm
bored.
17, not 12. She
Physician.
shrugs. It's been known to happen. Sometimes people in their 20s grow a few more inches, especially when they enter the procreation pool and their hormones surge.
Don't like that.
She's off again, clicking through the hall to her home office. You don't like the procreation pool?
Don't like the procreation pool.
I enjoy the
I imagine it
procreation
smells atrocious.
pool. Briny.
Oh, man. Why does it smell like the dumpster at a sushi restaurant suddenly?
I've got a chase long set up alongside the procreation pool. Never actually getting in. I just like to watch it.
Sure. Shout encouragement from the side.
You got this. Okay, you don't got this. Next.
I chug the synthomil, then wipe the back of my hand across my mouth so I don't have a blue mustache. Mom returns a few minutes later with a patch and an antiseptic swab. I'll monitor you for 24 hours and see how everything is looking. Lift up your shirt. I don't want that on me. She tugs at the back of my shirt anyway. It's only for a day. It'll give me more info than just your gizmo, which you never have with you anyway. What teenager doesn't keep their device on them all the time? Come on.
Well, I mean, if their parents are using it to constantly surveil them, I kind of understand.
Also to surveil them while they pee. Also,
Yeah.
I choose to believe that the nutrient milk that they have, which they described as being the color blue, comes from the tits of that Return of the
Oh,
Last
yeah.
Jedi.
It's absolutely blue milk from,
For sure.
Star Wars.
No, but specifically,
Fucking nerds.
You know the creature I'm talking
Yeah,
about, right?
from
I do.
Yeah, from the
They
Last
shared
Jedi,
it in Last
that Luke
Jedi.
Skywalker
Yeah.
was milking. Yeah.
Blue milk straight from the tit.
No, Chris, please describe it for us, because maybe not everybody listening.
Can you describe the nipples?
Okay, I want you to imagine.
No.
couch-
You're gonna have to do a much better job than that. I want you to visually describe this thing without comparing it to things that already exist.
We should read this book.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, let's do that. David, continue.
She manages to expose my lower back. The swab is so cold it makes me jump. Hold still. You won't even know it's there. She peels the ultra-thin 2-inch patch off its backing and presses it firmly against my skin,
if he gets
rubbing
to gnaw
around
through my flesh,
all of the
hold
edges
still,
to
you
make
won't
sure
even
it's
know
good and
there.
stuck. Then she takes her gizmo out of her pocket and establishes
Stop
a link
calling
with
it
the
that.
patch. It's capitalized even. It's a gizmo. It's a brand.
I hate
Yeah,
it.
but it sounds weirdly sexual in this, and coming out of the mouth of this book.
Yeah, it kind of does, but I just don't like it.
I'm gonna put my gizmo on your back.
Doesn't have a locator, does it? I scratch at it. She swats my hand away. Don't pick.
Scratch
You
at
could
my
break a
gizmo.
circuit. What year did this come out, Joe?
I can tell you. Hold on.
Is this the future where Apple's taken over everything instead of McDonald's?
2015.
2015. Okay.
This is actually the reason it's the dystopian future is the Amazon Apple wars that happened in the late 21st century.
Sure.
Apple's on. The only competitor to Google Book.
It's actually Geta. It's not, Google Book.
All you have to know is no matter who wins, we lose.
Yep.
Or it's Moogle. I actually like Moogle better.
Moogle. I like Moogle.
Micro Sony.
Final Fantasy's gonna have something to say about that.
It's Microsoft. So,
If we have any listeners out there that can put together a functioning acronym for all of these companies, human centipeded together, I'd appreciate that.
you don't have to listen to him.
Then you have
do
too
it.
much time on your hands and you shouldn't do that.
I mean, if you're listening to this, then clearly your time is of questionable value.
What does it say about us that we're doing it?
I know.
We already have established that we are a dumpster fire, like a cognitive, mostly aware dumpster fire.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't pick. You could break a circuit. She checks the connection, then slips her gizmo into her pocket. And it's not an affront to your personal liberty. It only collects internal data. As if that's not personal? Mom's eyes narrow and she frowns, which makes her look just like her mother. That's your Win face, I tell her. That's Win spelled Nguyen, by the way. Win.
Sure.
She gives me the eyebrow. For real, you look just like Grandma Grace when you're mad at me.
Her eyebrow is similar to the one utilized by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Smell what the Rock is cooking.
Her mom gets mad. She just asked me if I know what's been cooking.
I mean, not in this world. It's a dystopian future where people don't eat anymore.
It's true. Cooking doesn't mean anything to them.
Can you smell what the Rock is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a punchline?
The Rock is. Can you smell what the Rock is?
Can you smell what the Rock is?
Yeah, he's at the procreation pool.
He's very pungent.
All right, nerds. That's enough of that for today. Don't forget to go to our website, wegiveyoubrainworms.com, where you can find our Patreon. If you enjoy the show, please consider supporting the show. You can also find our funky, fresh Discord. Interact with us. If you're listening on YouTube, like, subscribe, click the bell. Do all the YouTube things. Maybe consider leaving a comment and telling us what you think of this garbage. Sorry for the weird audio. We were trying out some new things and David's recording got a little bit fucked up. We're very sorry. Thank you for listening.
This has been a production of Brainworms Presents. Any copyrighted content contained within is used for purposes of review. Brainworms Podcast is David Combs, Kaine Magdalen, Christian Schaefer, and Joseph Wells. The theme music is Hodgepodge No. 1 by Brian Davis. If you like what you heard and can support us and learn about our other projects at WeGiveYouBrainworms.com, or by leaving a review on your favorite listening app. I'm gonna put my gizmo on your back.
Have you urinated?